Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you over 300 different summons in Baldur's Gate 3 using just a single mod with the Ring of Summon More made by TGLie. This is an incredible mod that gives you a Hermit Crab item that's just a ring with 300 plus summons. This is also being updated as time goes on. It was literally updated 10 days ago, which is incredible. You can also add this to the tutorial chest if you're using the script extender, but it's going to be in the tutorial chest. So with this mod, you get these different abilities to summon in different allies. So I'm going to be covering all of them because there's a lot of them here, and people have been asking about how do you summon this character, how do you summon this character. You can do it pretty much any of them with this one. So first things we'll start off with is the allies. So from this, you get a Mind Flayer choice, so you can summon it in just a regular Mind Flayer. And then there's also the Emperor. So these come with their own different abilities here. So you can see they got a slightly different appearance between the two of them. The Mind Flayers come with the abilities that they get in the game. So they have Sleep, Mind Flayer Domination, Extract Brain, and the Mind Blast ability, which you can get from the Illithids. And then also has the Tentacle Whip there. So they're pretty strong. And also the Emperor here is a little bit more powerful, but yeah, it's pretty fun to play around with these. I know some people want to play a Mind Flayer on console. You can't really do that right now, but you can pretend. You can summon this in and just play as them. They also kind of fly around, which is cool. So yeah, Mind Flayer is the first two of this. Then we also got ourselves a Myconid, which is a little spongy fungal character here. And we also got ourselves like Bernard and the Adamantine Golem. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Underdark, this is for you because we got all the friends of the Underdark here. So yeah, they look pretty funny being able to summon these in. So the Myconids get the ability to do like the Better Bang Spores, the Tin Mask Spores, and Haste Spores, which will give you the whole team haste. Pretty crazy, getting yourself an extra action. This is also something that you can get from the Druid, Spore Druid item. And you can see there, they're getting a nice boost of speed as well. So yeah, you also have the Hallucination Spores, bestow hallucination upon a humanoid and make it wander around uncontrollably. And Pacifying, pacified creature can't take actions, bonus actions. Pretty good, the Myconid there. We also got ourselves Bernard, so if you're a fan of that, I don't know why it's unsummoning. There we go. So Bernard has a few different abilities. He's got the Static Overdrive. He's also got a Halberd attack there, a multi-attack. Not the most powerful, but it could be fun, especially if you want to play like a Artificer type role. And then the Adamantine Golem, which is 450 health. It's got the Quake attack. It's got its Slam. It's got Awaken. Nearby activity arouses Grim, ready to crush anything that lies their eyes on it. So you can go ahead with this, getting them all fired up. And then he also Seismic Wrath. I can't do that because it'll take out all enemies nearby. And it can also do a Misty Step. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of this because yeah, being able to play as different characters from different areas of the game is really nice. There's also the ally here, which is just this Sahagin little fish folk here. So you can summon one of those in. We also have a Steel Watcher, so you can summon one of these folk in, and they just jump down like Iron Man there. Also, you have the Dryad, which is similar to the one that you get from the Wolf if you're playing as a Druid. So those two we already got. Avatar of Tyranny is cool. You can actually turn Gortash into the Avatar of Tyranny, or you can just summon him in there. He's got 357 health. He can do unarmed strikes with extra force damage. He's also got the Fabricated Arbalest there, ranged attacks. You mainly want to be using him to punch if possible, or using the Closed Fist of Bane. And you also got the Tyrant's Bindings, which can reduce movement speed. So again, there's also the Gortash you can summon normally. The Sahagin here just has the abilities like the Blood Frenzy. You can do a normal attack. Not too strong, but that's nice. You don't need everything to be super overpowered. But you could also summon in a bunch of Steel Watchers and do a playthrough if you want to have Steel Watchers with you. So that's pretty cool too. In addition to that, for the allies, we also have Ansur, which is huge and not enough space to be able to bring the big bony dragon in, but there's a lot of other mods that actually use Ansur as well. So big dragon, big dragon there, legendary resistance. And then you can also summon in another big dragon with the red dragon. So yeah, this is great if you're going for like a playthrough of playing like a Gith. You can have your red dragon. You can also have your bony dragon there. So they both have a ton of health. Ansur having 600 health, and it's got a lightning attack. It also has its slam attack, and then the Stormheart Nova, which is its powerful ability, and that just absolutely wrecks. If you've done the Ansur fight, you'll know how brutal that attack can be. And then with the red dragon, it's got the Fightful Presence, which can afflict fear. It's got Fire Breath. It's got a slam attack and a multi-attack. Its Fire Breath is basically just a fireball skill. So yeah, it's cool to be able to fly around and use the dragons as well. So those are that's all for the allies. In addition, we got friends. So this includes the Dark Urge, which you can summon in a very own copy of Dirge, which only has 8 health and can really just do a 1 damage punch. not really super useful until you pop its Slayer form. So going all out, it can get the Slayer, which gives you all these different abilities here, which are very powerful. And then you can also dismiss the Slayer form too if you want to go back for whatever reason to play as the Dirge. I think this one's cool, especially if you wanted to add Dirge in as like a companion. You can use them as a summon there. We also got the Butler of Ball that you can summon in there. Kind of funny to have this one here, but he doesn't really do anything other than the 2 damage punch, so a little bit stronger than Dirge, as funny as that is. And then we also got Shadowheart. So pretty much all the characters that have different versions of themselves are here. So Arnel Howlleaf as well. And then we also got Shadowheart's mother. They don't really have that much of abilities. Like Shadowheart obviously can't really do too much there. And Arnel really can't do a whole lot, same as his mother. So they're not really, unless you want to do certain role playing, I wouldn't recommend really using them. There's also Nocturne here, which you can summon in. And then also alongside that, you can bring in Sharp. So these are pretty cool that you can bring them in. But again, they also don't do much. So they're just there for the aesthetic purposes. And Char is also just called human. It's also her statue form. So it's kind of funny to be able to play as her, although she does not do anything. In addition to this, we also got like the Mizora, we got the Arbiter Cirrus, and we also have a Raphael. So all the demon folks, we can summon them all in, and they also don't really do a whole lot. So Mizora, she's got, we'll summon over to Mizora, she just got the ability to do a 5 damage punch. It's a little bit stronger than the Butler. And then with the other one there, they also just have a 5 damage punch. And Raphael, which I know a lot of people like to be able to play as him, he just has the 5 damage punch as well, but stay tuned, there's gonna be more here. In addition, you also have like Alfira, which just does a punch, Withers, which just does a punch. We also have Auntie Ethel and Volo, Dame Aelin, which is a little bit stronger than others, and for some reason will not summon in. But we do have, I guess most of the ones under the friend are more so just kind of weak characters that you can summon in. There's Quill Groot Slang. I am Groot. She just has the unarmed strike, but she can also do Bardic Inspiration. So yeah, a lot of the friends are not that strong, but you can see there just Joel, Flaming Flicks, Jakek, Yull, Blinded Elf, Demir, Mind Flayer Pod. If you want to have a Mind Flayer Pod summoned in, I don't know what happened there. But we also got the Planar allies. So you got Diva. These are all similar to the ones that you get from the Planar ally ability, the Genie, the Cambion, Air Elemental, the Azur, Grease Mephit, which is a new one, Guardian of Faith, and Shadow, which you can get in Act 3 from the Shadow Lantern. The only new one here is the Grease Mephit. Everything else can be gained from Minor Elemental. Grease Mephit's pretty cool here, so you can have it summon another Mephit. And then it also has another one, so you can summon those in. Doesn't really work well here. Greasy Discharge, you make grease on the ground. And yeah, they're there. They're an option you can have, especially since you can summon those in using Minor Elementals. So that's that. I guess I can also show the Shadow, even though you can summon this in the normal game. The Shadows are cool. They just have the Strength Drain and the Necrotic Claws attack. Sorry, Scratch, for making you look at that. The monster has a lot of cool options, though. You got your Skeleton, Zombies, Ghouls, Flying Ghouls, Gas, which somewhat similar to some of the other ones. It's like the Shapeshifters. So with the Gas, they just have like the Stench, nauseates foes, which reduces their actions. So kind of similar to some of the other zombie mods or zombies that you can get from the base game. Death Shepherd is a new one. It's pretty cool. I really like the Death Shepherd. You can get a Grave Crypt Stalker Ranger subclass, which also has this in it. Got the Reach from Beyond and some different weapon attacks. I just love their bony, silly, goofy head here. So this is pretty fun just because look at him. Just look at him. But we also got ourselves a Slayer, which is similar to this Dark Urge Slayer that I showed. A Phasm, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Mysterious ox looking guy here. So it's got alternate forms. You can make it look like however you want. You can make it look like a Shadow Mastiff, a Minotaur, a Dire Wolf, Shadow Mastiff. I guess these are all just copies of it. It's also got the oozing attacks, which can do a bit of acid damage. But if you want to disappear and turn into something else, you can turn it into the Shadow Mastiff here. So it's kind of cool. It's a shapeshifter, and you can also dismiss its shapeshifting abilities. So we also have a Harpy, which can use the singing alluring song here, and it's flying, and there we go. So it only has 31 health, similar to the early game that you get it. And with this, it's got the alluring song, which can lure targets towards it, sharp rock, and a multi-attack. So it's cool, similar to the ones that you face off against at the start of the game. We also have the Hag. This is a bit of a different version of the Hag. This is in her, like, it's actually anti-ethel, but the one with different spells, the other one just punches that I showed earlier. So it's got hold person, ray of sickness, claws, invisible passage, which turns them invisible, and then greater restoration. So nice if you want to have a hag alongside you. And then we also have the Flind, which we can summon in here. So this is like the wild animal here. It can do different attacks like Flail of Paralysis, Flail of Madness, Flail of Pain, Bloodfest Healing, and then it's got ranged attacks, and Seething Fury, which allows you to attack multiple times per turn. They're pretty fun to play around with and cool if you want to do like a Knoll kind of playthrough. There's also Minotaur, which you can summon in. It's got a cool action animation there, but this is the gilded version of it. So you got the gilded one. It can do Brutal Leap, Charge, and Reckless Roar attacks. Pretty fun. In addition to that, we also got ourselves the Bulette, which can charge around knocking people down. The Bulette can be very annoying to deal with. It's also got the Corrosive Phlegm, which is what I felt like I had a couple weeks back, so nice to be able to summon that fella in there. And then we also have the Spectator. So there's also, you can summon in the Spectator in the base game by getting the flask that you can throw, but it becomes hostile, whereas this one's on our team, having all the ray attacks that it normally has, and it also has the ethereal jaunt there. This is cool to be able to play. The model for this is just beautiful. Scary, but beautiful in its own right. And then also we got ourselves Karnas here, which you can summon in. It's kind of funny to be able to play as the Drider. A beautiful webbing. So multi-attack, it's got the Cruel Sting attack, Spindle Web Sanctuary, protect yourself from the Absolute's gaze, and then it has a bunch of different weapon actions as well. So on top of that, we also got our Shadow Cursed Shambling Mound. So that is basically like a Shadow Cursed kind of, it looks cool with the skeleton in the inside of it. It looks somewhat like a Earth Elemental, but you got that deathly skull look. It's got Adhesive Whip, which can make targets prone, multi-attack, Devour, which can devour a creature that's restrained and maintain it in your digestive juices, instantly killing it. So yeah, if you're able to restrain a target with this, you can just insta-shot them. Pretty cool and scary at the same time. Then there's also the Toll Collector, which is pretty funny to be able to summon in, because it's going to have just some abilities based around like the Jealous Advice, Seizing on Greed. The Toll Collector damages the character based on how much gold they're carrying. The left coin whip and the right coin whip, and also coin toss, and just a simple punch attack as well. In addition, we also have ourselves a brewer, which is he's a Baldur, just the brewer there. So he's got a bunch of different attacks like Icy Regurgitation, basically all elemental damage types. He can teleport around, main hand attack, and also a Roaring Belch. So yeah, this guy is burping. He'd be burping with the big old bruise on his back. He's kind of funky looking. But yeah, that's a summon that you can bring in as well if you feel the need to. In addition, we also have Malice Thorn, which is like the little, he's the uncle of Ketheric Thorn, which is kind of funny. So he has got all his like bone saw attacks. This won't hurt a bit. It does hurt a bit. Terror Treppin, and Lethal Leech, and also Lovely Assistant. It can reanimate a corpse into a nurse. So it's a pretty interesting one to bring alongside. Also, we got ourselves the Flesh Golem. So this is from Act 2 as well. You can summon that in if you want this monstrosity. It's also got Corpulent Rage, which does thunder damage, multi-attack, and it's a slam attack, and also can teleport around. A lot of these do have teleports because they don't move great. Your gear. So yeah, if you really want to play with your gear, you can summon him in. He's also got his outfit. There's mods that let you wear his outfit too, which is kind of cool. Concussive Burst. We also got ourselves Volatile Cluster, which is his grenade attacks, throwing 4 bombs, which is kind of cool. So you can use this to go bump, 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 bump. Really strong. I'm not going to do it right now, or else the entire camp will start freaking out. But in addition to that, we have the Apostle of Myrkul, which is probably my favorite summon of this, because this just looks cool. Like, they cooked with this design. So yeah, he's a little bit too big to be shown, but you can see the skeletons hanging through there. So he's got like the Consume the Faithful, Cast Finger of Death, Gaze of the Dead, Ethereal Jaunt, main hand attack with the Scythe of Myrkul, and the Reaper's Scythe, which can knock targets back. And you can also do Call of the Damned, pulling all nearby creatures towards you. This one is really fun. Honestly, one of my favorites that you get. And to finish off there, you get the Mystic Carrion, which is Act 3 fight. This is a cool one. So he's got 185 health, and then he's got a multi-attack, a Mystic Carrion's Vile Curse, and then some necrotic and poisoned attacks, and Dreadful Glare, which can frighten targets. Explosive Cloud Kill, which explodes a corpse. So yeah, he's pretty freaky. That's that for the monsters. Now we got the Ranger's Companion, which has the Black Bear, Owl Bear, Hell's Boar, phase spider matriarch. So a lot of these are like little bit of a different version of some of the ones that we have already. There's the hellbore, also summoning the phase spider matriarch, which is a act 1 fight that you can get. So with this, the hellbore just is rush attack, and then also as a tusk, not too strong, but it's meant to be there if you want a different ranger's companion. The big spider says venomous bite and can teleport around. It's gross, so yeah, we'll just focus on some more. Sharon spider as well, so just kind of skip past if you don't like spiders. This just gives you another spider summon that just does the venomous attacks there. But in addition, we also got some cool ones like Corvus, big crow, wolf, warg, deep wrath, which is a druid wild shape as well. The badger, I love the badger summons. Also a bunch of gross stuff all over the ground there. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Look at him, he's cute. So he can burrow under the ground. He does a claw attack and a bite attack. It's a pretty fun little fella there. In addition, we also got the saber-toothed tiger, panther. So if you want to do a Drisdourden build, you can literally summon in a panther now. Really cool. It's got like the jugular strike, basically whatever the wild shape form of it has. So yeah, this is great. If you're a fan of Drizzt, you can now cosplay as him properly. And this also includes a Dilophosaurus, Displacer Beast, and a giant eagle. So a big eagle. It's cool. Yeah, big burbs. Love me some burbs. It's also got the Gale, not to be confused with the companion. So that's that for the Ranger's companions there. We also got Fine Familiars, which don't do anything really. They're very weak. They do like 1 to 5 damage. Rats, squirrels, rabbits, ravens, blue jays, chickens. I'll summon the chicken in. One thing I want to mention, there's no horses in Baldur's Gate 3. Astarion references them, but yeah, these don't really do a whole lot. You get the Holophant there, if you really want that. Pixies, phase spiderlings, dogs, skeletal hounds. So bringing that, they have a cool jumping in animation there. Owlbear cub, summon in the ox, which takes up a little bit more space than some of the other summons there. So if you want to have the mysterious ox, or less mysterious ox, or Rey Mysterio ox, you also got pigs and boo. If you don't have Minsk with you, you can have an oinker there. You can also go with a intellect glutton, conjured imquisite. So I'll show off the intellect guzzler because it's a bigger version of us. It's like the ones that you fight later on in the game. So you got your chicken, which punches. Somehow a chicken can punch. So critical miss. Little chicken, learn. Then there's also the Holophant there, which just does the Trumpet of Sparkles, Joyous Trumpet, or Trumpet of Blasting. Blow air from your trunk, causing no damage at all, but making a toot. So we'll just do a little toot here. Didn't really toot, but it is what it is. Then also the Skeletal Hound with 1 health, just has that single 1 damage punch too. Some of these aren't, again, they're not very strong. The Ox just has a punch as well, 5 damage. Again, not powerful. The Pig, 1 damage punch, and the Intellect Glutton, which actually has some attacks, Synaptic Discharge and Engorge Burst, which will explode, and you get rid of it. So yeah, it's kind of a little exploding attacker. And finally, we got Companions, which actually offers quite a bit of different summons. We've got gross stuff all over the floor there, so we'll just come over here. And you can see we got a lot of them. We got like Lae'zel. So these are some of the more powerful ones that we have. So Lae'zel only got 12 health, but she comes with attacks. She got Githyanki. Basically, they'll come with whatever abilities that they normally would have, but they'll be at a very low level, unfortunately. So yeah, you got Shadowheart, you got Astarion, you got the Karlach, Will, Gale, Losir, which is a companion if you play as Origin Lae'zel, Minthara as well, and Halsin. So if you want Minthara in Act 1, it actually kind of fits because she only got 44 health and she's level 5, so that actually fits within it. She's got her soul brand, basically anything that they would normally have, and then whatever they get from their subclass. So she's a Vengeance Paladin, getting the Hold Person and Vow of Enmity there. So kind of nice. Yeah, I think it's an alright one. Poor Minthara. Dramatic when she leaves. Then you also got Minsk, Hinja, and Commander Zulk, who you can summon in. Kind of funny because he just looks like a normal Cambion here, and even his little face icon similar to the Cambion one. He just got the Everburn Blade there. He's from the start of the game, fighting against the Mind Flayer. It's cool that he's there, but not super strong. And then we also got ourselves Zevlor too, Oathbreaker Knight, which is a pretty fun one. So I'll summon in a couple of these folks here, and Zevlor as well. And then also we got ourselves the Kaga. So big fan of Druid's Grove. You can eat in here. Also, what's cool is the Oathbreaker Knight's actually strong, 291 health. He looks pretty badass as well. So Yeah, you can see he's got a bit of a red glow to him. He doesn't really have a real face. He's got all the smites and Aura of Hate. He's an Oathbreaker himself. So Zevlor, also a paladin. He's got Divine Smite and all those abilities too. And then Kaga, obviously a druid, so she's got herself like plant growth, and also she can turn into a dire wolf. This is great for people that want Kaga as a companion, because she kind of works out as a companion there. And then in addition, we also got like Priestess Glut, Zora Ragslin, so the Goblin camp now on the opposite side of things in Priestess Gut. And then also you got the ability to summon in the Anders here too, so I'll pop this down. They all come with their own unique abilities, which I think is fun. So Zora Ragslin's got his Absolute Power, which is his weapon attack action. And it's cool if you want to play as like a hobgoblin looking guy here, you can play as him. And then we also have Priestess Gut, which has Shocking Grasp and some weak abilities here. Got Aid, which only gives 5 temporary health. And then Anders, who's got his smites. So these fake paladins, yeah, you can play as them too. Also, we got ourselves Nair, Duke Ulder Ravengard, and Counselor Floric. We'll summon them in there. So yeah, we got Duke Ulder Ravengard and Duke Ulder Ravengard about to duke it out. He's also got like Fire Shield and the Commander Strike, so he's got an interesting Battlemaster Fighter combination of skill set. And then also, I guess I'll bring in Counselor Floric there. She's pretty popular. So yeah, you can play as her, and then she's got her, oh no, I didn't pop up there. She got some spells like Magic Missile, Cone of Cold, Mage Armor, etc. So not bad there. And then on top of that, we also got Fist Marcus, Disciple Zarel, which is kind of cool to be able to play as her. She doesn't really have crazy abilities. I guess Cone of Cold, I should say. Eldritch Blast, Cone of Cold. And she also has Agonizing Blast, Dark One's Own Luck, Fire Shield Chill. And then she can also weapon attack. Pretty nice. She's a Fiend Warlock herself. And then on top of that, you also have like Chi-Rai Sikan. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Githyanki. So they come with all their Githyanki astral steps, and also you got Eldritch, or she got the Eldritch Warlock abilities too on her skill set. But the ones that I think a lot of people want are like, here's real Dame Aelin. I don't know why the other one wasn't working properly, so you can actually summon in Dame Aelin here, and she's got Lunar Flare, Lunar Blessing, Lunar Smite. It's cool action, basically a different version of Holy Smite. So yeah, great for those that want to be able to summon in Dame Aelin. And then yeah, here's Isabel and also Ketheric Thorm. We got daughter and father here, and Ketheric's cool because he was supposed to be a companion at one point. So yeah, you got the Turn Undead, Healing Word, etc. from her. She's not too strong, but that's fine. And then Ketheric, 200 health, has all of his different weapon attacks and Howl of the Dead, which he gets from his armor. It also has his gemstone on this chest, which is cool. Then also Incubate Death, Divine Smite, Dreadful Aspect. And he's got his hammer there, which does a bit of psychic damage as well. It's pretty cool. Dreadful Aspect. This one, yeah, it's pretty fun. Getting different options like Divine and Necrotic damage is cool. But we also have ourselves like, we got Lord Enver Gortash, which I showed you the Avatar Tyranny, which is something that he can actually turn into from this summon. So you got the Invoke the Black Hand, giving yourself the Bane's Tyrannical abilities. So you can just do your normal attacks, which aren't super strong. I'd recommend going into his Avatar Tyranny form to be able to really be strong. So Orin, I know a lot of people really want Orin as a companion, so now you kind of can have her as a companion with 200 health here. Then she has her weapon attack. She can go Slayer form, True Strike from her blade. She basically just has like her normal weapon attacks here, and then also she can do Slayer or Shroud Self. So pretty cool. If you wanted to be able to play as Orin, now you can, and in all her glory. So yeah, there's this ability here, and then we also have we can turn into Alis Syria. Choking on my words here. Syria. Yeah, this guy, Syriaceus, Fire Mage, got the Fireball, Fire Radiant around him, was kind of cool, and then Invigorating Flame, Ignite Corpses nearby Grease Elementals. That's a cool being able to be him. Stumbling on my words after that one. You can also play as Larokin, who gets a bunch of different spells here, similar to what he has in his battle against you. So he's got Fireball, Mirror Image, Lightning Bolt, and Cone of Cold, being a pretty tough bugger to deal with. And then there's also, again, more Githyanki's, Saravok and Chev. You can summon him in. He's got 340 health, and he's also got his Divine Resistances, mainly his weapon attacks with the Sword of Chaos here, his main weapon. Not too powerful, but he also has the Deathbringer's Legacy, so he can use that on his next turn, which does make him a whole lot stronger. And Nine Fingers Keen, Khazadar Sar, if you want to play as them, Viconia Devere. So we got all the villains in here now. Pretty crazy. Literally anyone you can think of in the game, they can be brought into here. So also someone in Nine Fingers as well. So Viconia, she's got a bunch of necrotic abilities. Sunder the Heretical, call forth the Nightbringer to deliver a divine reckoning. Shadow Step as well, warding bond, everything from her shield. And then she also has the Cloak of Shadows to turn invisible. Great if you got a stealth build. Khazador's got his forced teleportation, claws attack. He also has the Woe Staff there. Vampire regen, so regains 20 health at the start of his turn if it's not in sunlight. So yeah, he's pretty tough. And then also Nine Fingers Keen. She's got this really nice armor, and she just got throw attacks. And the blade least expected, hit a foe who you got advantage on, dealing sneak attack damage. And yeah, she's not super strong, but she's a rogue, so cool. And also then we got Psaris here, which is the Gith who you can summon, or you I guess get from the egg. And he's got vacuum missile, he's got an unarmed strike, sapping imagery, which steals 2 points from nearby targets of their intellect stats. So it's kind of cool to see that as well. And then also we have Vlaakith and Orpheus to end things off. So all the Gith to end it all. So yeah, you got Orpheus there and Vlaakith, which you can summon in if you really want to do a full like Gith playthrough. You can even summon them. He's got Sanctuary, Telekinesis, and then a bunch of different key restoration punches. He also, it's cool because he's got like Open Hand Monk, and he's got the 4 Elements Monk abilities. So a lot going on with him. He can also drop Flares of the Phoenix. He's got key points that you got to manage. It's very cool. And then Vlaakith's just got like Mind Steel Link, Vacuum Missile, Astral Step. She uses the Silver Sword of the Plane, Astral Plane. Blur, got range attacks, Form of Dreads. So whenever you go into her dread form, she becomes really crazy. So I'll show what that ends up looking like here so you get an idea of it. Sorry Duke, but he will always start combat with us if we actually fight him, so we can show off some of these abilities here. So I'll just skip all my abilities. They're just going to start fighting us. I'll skip that. Oh no, Vlaakith is confused. This is not a good sign. Anytime that happens, it usually just starts, everyone starts blowing up. All right, so Form of the Dread for Vlaakith here, so you can cast this. And then she has her Dread form, which does give her some more damage on her abilities here and just gives her this cool looking appearance. She also carries a sword in a funny way, but yeah, that is all 300 summons that you can get in Baldur's Gate 3 of pretty much every single character in the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next video.